I've spilled out over onto the cooker with this shop. So, Monday the 24th of February, this is the first shop of the new cycle after payday. So there are a few things here that are more sort of month ahead purchases than things that are needed right now for this week. So I will go through what I've bought and the reasons why I've bought it, and then how much it cost at the end. So pretty self-explanatory. Let's start with the treats. Hot cross buns, I know they're £1.9. Some biscuits, the Jammy Dodgers, Nectar Price 50p, and the Biscoff, which I really like because they come in packs of 2, so I tend to only eat 2. That's why I like those so much. They were on Nectar for £1.20. I bought puff pastry and the pesto because I bought the tomatoes also for that reason. I've got a mozzarella in the fridge that's never going to get used unless I make some sort of tart. So that's the plan. Pastry, I'm probably only going to use half of this, and then I will, obviously because it rolls out into one flat sheet, I'll cut it in half and I'll freeze half. Or think of something else that I can make. Oh, look at those swirls on there. Could make those. Anyway, I could use up the skinless sausages. Oh, right, let's not go there. Ham, I really fancied ham. I've been fancying a ham and tomato sandwich for days. That was Nectar Price £1.50. That much I do know. Bread, self-explanatory. Picked up another Anchor butter purely because it's still on Nectar. I don't need it, but it'll go in the fridge whilst I can get it at that price. Got a coconut milk to make a curry and another tin of tomatoes. Oh, I didn't realise I picked up the plum rather than the chopped. That's fine, they easily break up. And the paprika and the curry powder I've bought. I usually, you've probably seen before, the little korma paste pots, but I've got quite a large tray of chicken breasts, and I don't think one of those pots would be enough, so that would not be cost effective at all. Crisps, just because I like them and I need a snack. Very disappointed with the milk because they had no organic, and they didn't even have a 4-pint one on the normal semi-skimmed, so I've had to get a 2-pint normal semi-skimmed, and I will have to pick up an organic one another day. I got 2 bags of potatoes purely because they were on offer, as you can see, with yellow stickers at 89p. They are whites, but they're organic, so I'm very excited to have those. What else have we got? Oh, cheesecake reduced to £1.89. Still not cheap, but oh, so indulgent. And sometimes you just need a treat. I think when you're constantly budgeting, constantly aware of money, feeling like you can't ever have anything, you know, sometimes if there is a little treat like that reduced, I will pick it up. Says she who also treated herself to a Pukka pie, because I love those. 99p. The courgettes for the curry, just something green to go in. You'll see that when I cook it later in the week. Coffee pods. The cheapest ones were the Lure. They were £2.75. Some baby wipes under there just because I like to keep them in the drawer for when the kids come round and I'd run out. The Gastro fish, picked that up again because it was on Nectar, and I've had that a couple of times because it's quite, sometimes they have it for like £2 something, and it's really worth it because it's just over £1 for your dinner then. So I picked up another one of those, and I picked up some Magnum ice lollies to go in the freezer. Again, more for when I have family round. Sometimes it's ideal to have something like that when you haven't got a pudding. And they were on Nectar. I never would have bought those at full price. Oh, potatoes are bubbling away for dinner. So yeah, and toilet roll. Again, I haven't run out, but I just picked one up today. to put in the cupboard, and mushrooms, as you know, never like to be without mushrooms, bacon and onions. Right, so let's just double check. Yeah, the Magnum Classics, usually $3.50, but because I got the two, $3.50 off they were. The fish, yeah, normally $5.25. Nectar price saving, $2.75 saving on those. So that's really good. I don't think there's anything else that I really need to check. They were the things I wanted to check had come off. Yeah, 50p off of the ham, making it $1.50. Arla anchor spreadable. Didn't know that was owned by Arla. I think they're the ones that are going to be using that stuff beginning with B, whatever it is. I need to look that all up and look into that. Oh, I'll tell you what else I didn't show you. Over here. Da, da, da. I'm going to try. I haven't got a greenhouse, but I have got a conservatory. I'm going to try and grow some tomatoes. I would really love to be able to do it in the garden. I've got a really small garden. Obviously, it's big enough for me, but there's no way I could grow anything in the earth out there. It's not my garden. I don't own the house. As you know, it's rented. But I just thought, oh, can I grow a couple of bits? What can I grow indoors? I'll look into it anyway. So I've bought those seeds and we'll see how we go. I need to, yeah, YouTube it all, how to do it. And that's about it. So we're going to do dinner now. Potatoes are parboiling. Got leftover Yorkshire pudding mix from yesterday, which you've seen before. I always do a toad in the hole if I've got some Yorkshire pudding mix left over, because I don't like waste. We don't like waste in this house. So yeah, basically I bought £100 Sainsburys gift card on top cashback. That downloads to your Apple Wallet if you can do that. I don't use my Apple Wallet, but I do use it for that. So I've got £2 cash back. So essentially it's cost £98 for £100 worth of shopping, really. So you might as well get something back. Plus you've got all your nectar, your points, which mine convert automatically to Avios, because that's the only way I can go on holiday if I get cheap flights. So let's get putting this away and get dinner sorted. Oh, and just when I'm putting it away, I forgot to mention the tuna, which I think was $2.49 on nectar. Didn't have any in spring water. Chose olive oil out of all the oils that were available to me. So yeah, really good price. And I'll have tuna sandwiches quite a lot. Like tuna in a tuna pasta bake as well. So yeah. So we're just going to make a small toad in the hole for dinner today. Got plenty of the skinless sausages that my friend gave me. I had 2 bags. You might remember me saying, so I'm going to use up some of those. And the leftover mixture from yesterday's Yorkshires, which again, I probably showed you before. Once you whisk that through again, that's absolutely fine. I would never keep it longer than 1 day. And then I've got some leftover veg, got quite a lot of cauliflower cheese there. And some carrots and broccoli left over, so might do some peas as well, bulk the dinner out, and yeah, looking forward to it. Well, I certainly didn't need to cook some peas off, that's for sure. There's plenty of veg left over. I've got 3 skinless sausages in the toad in the hole. So that's today's dinner, Monday 24th of Feb. Hi guys, welcome back to Tuesday the 25th of Feb. Today we are using up some more leftovers from the Sunday roast. So yesterday you would have seen we used the remainder of the Yorkshire pudding mix to make a toad in the hole, and had a very nice portion of that for lunch today. Naughty, naughty. So I've stripped the chicken, and that's how much I've got left. Today we are making a chicken and bacon pasta to use up the chicken. There probably is enough there for 2 people. I think there's probably too much there. And perhaps I should have cooked more pasta and possibly made one for tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, I've only used half an onion because it's just for one. I have got a slice of bacon. That's just the Stamford Street Sainsburys back bacon, just cut up into small pieces. And I've used half an onion. There's half an onion softening in there, and just the end of a teaspoon of lazy garlic. So you could use 1 clove if it's for one person and you've got fresh garlic, or just a little bit of the garlic that comes, you know, like a condiment, dried. So yeah, of course you can boil the carcass to make a stock as a base for a soup or something like that. But yeah, that's today's dinner cooking away. So my intention is, once that onion is soft, I'm going to put some of the chicken in there to warm it through. Then I'm going to add some cream, some pasta water from the saucepan to make a sauce, and I'm going to drain the pasta and put it through. So slightly different to how I make a carbonara, where I use an egg. And of course I don't use chicken in that. Instead of chicken, that would be mushrooms. But yeah, another quick, easy dinner for one using leftovers. So I've just added some of the cream and a little bit of pasta water and the chicken to the bacon, onion and garlic mix. I've drained the pasta, and now to combine. And there we have tonight's dinner. I really wish I'd doubled up on onion, bacon and pasta. Could have made a bake. I might still do it after dinner. Cook off some more and make a small chicken and bacon pasta bake that can go in the freezer. I've just put some parmesan over the top and I'm about to dive in. Good morning, guys. Wednesday the 26th of February, and we are making a curry today. I'm on a late shift again, so this will be ideal to just reheat after work tonight. I've got some reduced naan breads out of the freezer to have with it. Can of course serve it with rice if you wish. Curry powder, paprika. I'm going to use 1.5 onions because I've got half an onion left from last night. Again, it's going to help to bulk it out. So this should really make a lot for the freezer as well. The chicken breasts were given to me. I've mentioned before, sometimes my friends pick me up bits, or my daughter will give me things just because they're going out of date. And she says, I haven't got room in the freezer, so you have it, which is super handy. I've got a courgette, again, I'm going to use to bulk it out. So you can use whatever you want, really, to bulk it out. So we're going to do a tomato-based one. So you may have seen I did a chicken leftovers curry, one of my first videos on my channel, where I used the Patak's korma pots, which I do use quite a lot. But when you take into account that one of those, I think it's £1.50 for the two, so it's 75p for one pot, and I've got a lot of chicken there. So that's why I've decided to do it slightly differently today, because I usually use one of those and a tin of coconut milk, but we're going to make a tomato-based curry today, which is a lot cheaper by using your own curry powder and paprika. So I've got the courgette and onion in the pan with just a little bit of oil in the bottom. So I'm just going to let that sweat with the lid on for a few minutes. I've cut the onion and the courgette quite chunky, again just to bulk everything out. And the next step will be to add the garlic, tomato puree, curry powder and paprika. So I have added to the onion and courgette 3 dessert spoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of lazy garlic, and 1 dessert spoon of tomato puree. And I'm just going to give that a good old stir now. So just make sure everything is nicely coated, and then we are going to dice up our chicken breasts and pop those into the pan. All chicken breasts have been added to the pot. Everything's had a really good stir to get it all coated in the curry powder and paprika, garlic and tomato puree. I've also seasoned it with some salt and pepper. And now I'm going to add in the chopped tomatoes. So chopped tomatoes are in, and now we're going to add some stock. Give everything a good stir, put the lid back on the pan and let that cook through for about 30 minutes. I'll put the lid on, I've turned the heat up to bring it to the boil, and then I'll turn it down to simmer for 30 minutes. Just want to add here that you can make curry like this out of literally anything. And of course you can use chicken leftovers. There's no way I would buy a pack of 4 chicken breasts like that. I dread to think how much they cost. The only time you see me buy chicken breasts is if they've got a yellow sticker on them. And even then, probably not the pack of 4, because they'd still be really, really expensive, even at half price. So yeah, just bear in mind, you can make this with leftovers. You could use chicken thighs. You could cook them off, remove the bones. Yeah, you could use literally anything to make this. Or you could just have a vegetable curry if you don't eat meat. So that's just starting to boil now. So I should put the lid on, turn it down to simmer and set my timer 30 minutes, which I think I've now said 3 times. So 30 minutes is up, it's coming along nicely. I'm just going to take the lid off and turn it down a little bit more, try and thicken it up a little bit. And that was 1 tin of chopped tomatoes and 1 pint of stock that I added to that. Obviously I serve it with a naan bread or rice, it's going to absorb the juice anyway, but I'd like it to just thicken up a little bit if possible. So 30 minutes later, we've taken it off the heat, and I am now tempted after tasting it, which is absolutely fine. It's really good, the meat's lovely and tender. Look, very disappointing with the Gino pot from Asda, look, coming off the handle, very annoying. I'm tempted, because I've got some cream, to put a little bit of cream in it. Shall we? Yeah, let's just put a bit of cream in it. Oh, that's only a little bit, and it's really changed how it looks, hasn't it? But anyway, it's perfecto. So we're just gonna put that into containers now, get a bowl ready for dinner, and container up the rest, ready for the freezer. Okay guys, so we are portioned up and ready for tonight's dinner and the freezer. So I've got some really, really generous portions there. Got a big one for tonight, which I will have with a naan bread so that I don't have to cook rice after work. Just want to pop that in the microwave for 2 minutes, and the same with the naan bread. I will just pop that into a hot oven with a little sprinkle of water, and that'll be tonight's supper. And yep, 4 portions for the freezer. There you have it. So apart from the fact that chicken breasts were used for this, it was a quite cheap curry really, because a tin of the cheapest tomatoes were used that you can get in the supermarket, and I only put a little bit of cream in just because I had it, and it didn't really make much difference to the taste of it at all, to be honest with you, so it's not necessary. So as long as you've got curry powder, paprika, I mean, you could have just thrown in a handful of frozen peas in here, and I could have done that to bulk it out even more as well. So just whatever veg you've got. If you get a veg box, that's perfect for any kind of batch cooked meals, just to bulk them out really. I've yet to get a veg box, and I really want to get one. And just a little side note, because I didn't get round to making another chicken and bacon pasta bake last night, I am going to freeze the leftover cooked chicken, which you can do. I haven't got any freezer bags, so I'm just going to wrap it up in some cling film. Is it Thursday the 27th? Yes, I believe it is. Beef stew day, more batch cooking. Done well this week. All I've got left to batch cook will be a chicken stew with some chicken thighs. That'll have to be next week now. So I'm using the beef stir fry strips. Doesn't really matter what shape it is, does it? I don't like stir fry. That'll make a stew, no problem. Tin tomatoes, couple of carrots. Oh, I need to get some potatoes out. Let's get going. Not a massive amount of beef there, but it will do. Won't go overboard on the amount of veg I put in, otherwise it'll be veg heavy. But yeah, there's certainly enough there to get a few portions. And as you probably saw from the packet, that had a yellow sticker on it, and I paid £2.29 for that beef. So we're gonna cook that off till it's starting to colour, and then I will season it and put a dessert spoonful of plain flour over it and give that a good coating before we start to add our vegetables, tin tomatoes and stock. So I have just seasoned with salt and pepper and just put a dessert spoon of plain flour over the beef. Just going to add some garlic and some mixed herbs. Lazy garlic, and give that a good stir. Just going to add the veg. Just watch me spill this all everywhere. Can we do it? Bob the Builder? No, we can't. 3 small potatoes first, 2 carrots and 1 large onion into the pot. Give that a good stir. So I've added the tin tomatoes, which unfortunately I bought plum tomatoes and not chopped, so I've had to try and break those down with the back of a spoon, and it meant there was not as much juice in the can as I had hoped. I put in approximately a pint of beef stock. Going to bring that up to the boil now, put the lid on and simmer that for about 2 hours on a low heat. This is exactly the same recipe as I used to use when I had all 4 kids at home. Obviously I would use a lot more meat, a lot more vegetables in here, whatever veg you've got. If you've got parsnips or absolutely anything you can put in here. And I always used to put in a tin of baked beans to bulk it out even further. So that is also something else that you can do with this stew. Makes it really tasty. So we give that a taste test in a couple of hours. The lid is about to go on. So a couple of hours later, just about to make the dumplings, and in my bowl I have 100 grams of whatever you want to use, butter, margarine, whatever, 200 grams of self-raising flour, and I've just put a pinch of mixed herbs. You can always add cheese as well, make cheesy dumplings. So let's get these mixed up and pop them in with the stew. Trying to make dumplings and hold a phone when your hands are in a complete state. But anyway, just added a little bit of water and kneaded that in. And that's our dumpling mixture. So I'm going to separate this into about 10 or 12 small round balls and pop them in. Right, so there you have it. I'm going to give that a stir through. Tasted a bit of the meat, it's lovely and tender now. And then we're going to pop in our dumplings. I usually cook these for about 30 minutes, turning them over halfway through. Had a little bit fall off of one, so we'll pop that in. That'll be a tiny little one. So how many did we get out of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, about 10. So 15 minutes, I'll come out and turn those dumplings over so that the other side is submerged within the stew. And bearing in mind, before you pop those in, if you're looking like you need some more liquid in it, you can of course add some more stock, bring it back up to the boil, and then turn it back down again and pop your dumplings in. So there we have the finished article. Turned it up to cook the dumplings off a little bit quicker. Medium heat now, and just about to dish up. So today, Friday 28th of Feb, I've decided I'm on a late shift. I really fancy a full English because I've got this bacon that needs using up. It's now 8 days out of date. I don't worry too much about bacon, and I do notice that this Stamford Street bacon never has a very long life on it, which I find quite strange. So, yeah. We are going to do a full English with the tomatoes and mushrooms that I bought in my last shop. We've still got some skinless sausages to use up, and going to have a slice of fried bread as well. Be really naughty today, but that means all the dinners in the freezer can remain there, and then when I finish work tonight, I can just have a snack rather than a meal. Very much looking forward to eating that. I have not had a full English breakfast for ages. Could have opened a tin of beans, but I decided against it. Why waste them? Plenty of food there. Saturday the 1st of March. That seems pretty unbelievable. January had like 650 days to it, and February had 10. The month just flew past, didn't it? Anyway, we're not here to talk about the calendar. I'm having the Pukka pie for dinner today. And the reason that I'm popping on just having put the pie in the oven, I have got my potatoes and peas ready to put on. Was just one thing I wanted to say to, I guess it is a money saving tip really. Anything you buy like this that you then freeze, so anything chilled, like a ready meal, I've only got that out for the purposes of what I am about to say. So for example, if you look on the back here, it says oven cook from chilled 25 to 30 minutes, from frozen 50 minutes. Now you're looking at another 20 to 25 minutes there to cook that Pukka pie from frozen. So just excuse the bit of pastry that's falling out of the box. Yeah, just think about that. Bear that in mind to try and get anything out of the freezer in the morning that you've bought from the sort of dairy or the fresh food counters or the reduction cabinet that you have then frozen. Defrost them first, get them out in the morning, and then cook them, because as you can see from that pie, I'm sure it's not half on a lot of things, but that cuts the cooking time in half. And for me, the oven is the thing that really, really takes the energy in this house, or any house. I had a smart meter in my old house, so I know also that it was the oven that used to take the most energy, and it's certainly the same here. So just a little tip for you, defrost anything before you cook it, even though it does say you can cook from frozen. And there we have tonight's dinner, and that's a chicken, oh, throwing the box away now, chicken and bacon Pukka pie. Oh, I love pies, I love pastry, you can probably tell. But because it's chicken and bacon, I didn't want gravy. I might put some brown sauce on my mash. But yeah, looking forward to diving in to that pie. Pukka pies are on offer at Sainsburys at the moment on Nectar. But of course that one had a yellow sticker on, so was 99p. I think they're 125 at the moment. But yeah, just picked it up because it was reduced. But super handy. Quick dinner after a long day at work. Oh, and just to say also that once you've finished cooking something in the oven, if your house is freezing like mine is, leave the oven door open and heat the kitchen up for a minute so that when you bring your plate back out and load your dishwasher or do your washing up, it's a bit warmer than it would be. Sunday the 2nd of March, and today is a pork loin roast joint day. Yellow sticker bargain from 4th of Feb. It's been in the freezer for almost a month. Finally getting used today. Let's make a cauliflower cheese. Got this cheapo cauliflower, which I've had in the fridge for quite a while. It was quite brown in parts, but I just cut that off. Who cares? Cut it off, it's fine. So our sauce is made. I'm just going to grate some cheese. I've got this lump of Stamford Street. Somebody picked that up for me when a friend asked, did I need anything from the supermarket? It was quite a big lump, but it was more expensive than Cathedral City, you know, the branded cheeses, but and it was mild. I prefer mature, but going to get that used up today. It served me well, it's lasted a long time. Can't moan about that. So I'm going to grate that up, pop that into the hot sauce and season that with some pepper. So cauliflower cheese has been assembled, and I've used these foil pots because this is something that will go straight into the oven. So I've got 2 for the freezer, and what my intention is, because yet again I've got loads of late shifts this week, definitely Monday, Tuesday, can't remember if I've got Friday as well, need to check my rota. So tomorrow I can just have a reheated roast dinner, and then on Tuesday it will be the leftover Yorkshire pudding mix, which will make my pancakes. I know I said I never keep it longer than a day, but I've realised that it is pancake day on Tuesday and I'm going to have some mixture that I don't want to throw away. So we will give that a go on Tuesday. Looking forward to eating that. And another one for tomorrow after work. I will put the Yorkshires in a very hot oven for just 2 to 3 minutes and they'll be absolutely fine.